Hi, today we'll be talking about youth and climate change. Climate change is essentially the global change in weather patterns. Although Malaysia is fortunate enough to not be in the path of natural disasters as we are located near the equator, climate change is a global threat to all countries around the world. As sea levels and temperatures rise, the situation will only get worse. If estimations are correct, by 2030, about a quarter of Malaysia's population will be displaced because of climate change. In our efforts to spread awareness, we approached an NGO located in Kuala Lumpur called Ecolights and got their opinion on youth and climate change.
Good morning. My name is Angela and we're students from TEDIS. So today we're here with Mr. Leong Mun for an interview on the topic of youth and climate change. To first address this issue, to what extent do you think the issue of climate change has become a global threat?
I think it is very much a global threat. If you look at countries like Syria, you can see how climate change actually led to the civil war that tore it apart. So according to Solomon Xiang of University of California, so there were a variety of factors leading up to the civil war in Syria. There were government unrest and whatnot, but it was primarily sparked by droughts, by lack of water, lack of food. They couldn't grow food, and that drove a lot of farmers to the outskirts of the city, which provided the sort of like fuel for the uprising to happen. So I look at Syria as an example of what could happen to the entire world. The world is not ready for the effects of climate change. We don't have the systems in place to distribute resources effectively.
That is right.
Yeah, and if it happens, people think it's just about like rising sea levels. It's not. It's about what displaces people and how those people interact with other members of the society. When I lose my home, I'm not going to be happy. If I can't feed my family, I'm not going to be happy. And when people aren't happy, they get desperate. Desperation usually leads to violence.
Okay. So, do you think people around the globe has actually underestimated the significance of this threat as well?
I think they have, because as humans, we're wired to think about things on a day-to-day basis, and even if not that, maybe a weekly or a monthly basis, but climate change is something that happens very, very slowly over a period of years, and then it happens all at once. So it's extremely hard to communicate this issue.
So they don't see the future impact of it just yet.
Yeah, people they can't wrap their heads around it fully. So it's really challenging to communicate this issue properly.
So on a national level, what are some ways that you think Malaysia can actually contribute to remedying this threat?
Well, you can become educated on the issue yourself. You don't have to wait for an educational institution to give you the facts, because usually by the time you're out of the educational institution, the facts are probably irrelevant already. Because climate change is something that constantly happens, and it happens so fast. By the time you finish your degree, it's probably a bit outdated, the knowledge you've learned, and you just have to relearn everything. And when you are educated, you can start a movement. So our founder, Yasmin Rashid, one of our flagship programs now, CLEF, this year we managed to do it in iGEM, in conjunction with iGEM. So we were rubbing shoulders with a lot of big players and whatnot. But it started 12 years ago with her just having a table outside of a local cinemaplex.
Particularly in youth, what do you think the role of youth is and have to play in remedying climate change?
I see. Well, youth have three things that I think the older generation does not have when it comes to this fight. You have energy, you have opportunity, and you have mobility. So you have the energy to fight this fight. This is going to be a long fight. And right now, the ones that are leading it, except for Greta Thunberg, are all pretty old. You know, they will not have the energy, and frankly, they will not live long enough to see the conclusion of this fight. So we need to pick up the baton and run with it. You have opportunity. As I mentioned before, I touched on it before, we have all these technologies and whatnot at our disposal. So if you learn how to use them properly, they can really make a difference.
So last but not least, do you actually have any last statements to the Malaysians out there looking for a way to make a change in the climate change?
I feel like the world is moving in a fundamentally good direction. And in a few centuries or whatnot, I believe that human being as a species can be really great, and it'd be a shame if climate change was what drove us to extinction or what disrupted that progress. It'd be a real shame. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's all for the interview today. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Leong Mun. So
Malaysia is a beautiful country, and as citizens of Malaysia, we have to do our part in combating climate change to ensure a better future. the constant development of properties and architecture all around the world is what causes climate change. Fossil fuels and excessive carbon footprint is an issue that all Malaysians and all citizens around the world need to be aware of. What do you think about climate change?
Well, for me specifically, climate change means the changes towards the weather.
Well, for climate change, we've been seeing all this kind of news over the social medias or the web, or even the newspapers. And however, we don't really have awareness on how serious it is right now. It is very, very important to raise awareness to the public that climate change is really getting very serious in this era.
Yes, you're right.
What do you think the youth can do about climate change? What difference can y'all make?
I think we should spread the awareness to the people around us that the climate change is getting serious every day. And I think we could participate in some activity with the NGO.
On top of that, we can actually organize events as well so that people are well aware of this fact and they know how to protect our earth.
Those ideas which are rising up, it really helps us to create youth awareness towards the climate change.
In conclusion, global climate change has already had observable effect on the environment. The future of humanity depends on the healthiness of our planet, which directly affecting our future generations. Thus, protection must be given to our environment as well as our ecosystem.